In the meantime, President Barra Jagdeo has called on Guyanese, particularly Muslims, to commit their hope in a prayer to affirm the unity between Islam and other religions on the occasion of Eid al-Adha. The President, in his message to the nation, said in the spirit of the celebration, Guyanese should not forget those in need. Edward Lane reports.
President Barra Jagdeo says Eid al-Adha is a time for believers to learn the value of self-denial by making a sacrifice of the things they love to the Almighty God. He believes that this message is an example of coexistence and cooperation from which the world can learn. The President noted that Ibrahim's great act of submission is an example of genuine surrender to the will of his Creator. He noted too that Muslims need to incorporate the lesson of this great sacrifice with humility, thereby underlining the importance of this festival in memory of Prophet Ibrahim's great act of faith many centuries ago. The Guyanese leader says in the spirit of sacrifice, Muslims should remember the poor and needy by sharing the sacrificial offering with them. He is further urging Muslims for their sincere hope and prayer to form the unity among Guyanese. The President in conclusion urged that special prayers be offered for continued peace so that Guyana can move forward with prosperity. In the meantime, the People's Progressive Party has extended Eid al-Adha greetings to the Muslim community. The party notes that this message of sacrifice and faith of particular relevance given the world economic crisis, which has affected numerous populations. The PPP says all Guyanese should be inspired by this lesson and be prepared to make sacrifices and work hard to develop the nation and overcome the challenges. And the Alliance for Change, in its statement on the occasion, says it strongly believes that religion should be a unifying and empowering force of change in this country. The party is hoping that the observance of this festival unites Guyanese, making them willing and prepared to make the necessary sacrifice for change. Eid al-Adha tells the story of Ibrahim's willingness to sacrifice his only son out of loyalty and obedience to Allah. Edward Lane, the 6 o'clock news.
Medical equipment for the National Ophthalmology Center at Port Morant, Berbice, has arrived from Cuba and is being installed. Minister within the Health Ministry, Dr. Berry Ramsaran, says the equipment is being installed by biomedical technicians and engineers from Cuba. He says the ministry's aim is to have the center fully operational early 2009. The $140 million National Ophthalmology Center would have the capability to conduct approximately 10,000 eye surgeries per year. The center will conduct corrective refractive error, cataract, glaucoma, and retinopathy and retina detachment surgeries, while its long-term plan is to conduct eye transplants. The establishment of the center is part of the Cuban Health Assistance Package, which was initiated in 2006 following a visit by Guyana's President Barra Jagdeo to Cuba. Transport Minister Robeson Ben is refuting assertions made in yesterday's edition of the Kaichor newspaper about the unsafe condition of traffic control systems at the Cheddi Jagan International Airport. Minister Ben says government has recognized that there are certain deficiencies and efforts are being made to rectify the situation. More in this report.
According to an article in the December 7 edition of the Kaichor newspaper, air traffic control systems at the Cheddi Jagan International Airport are unsafe. This follows a report conducted by Captain Gregory Fox after a Delta airplane nearly collided with a Caribbean Airlines carrier on October 7. However, Transport Minister Robeson Ben has described the statement as sensational and believes that it has attempted to blow the matter out of proportion. According to Minister Ben, if the ATC systems were unsafe, there would have been immediate steps to halt operations and have the situation rectified.
There are indeed reliability issues with equipment, and we've not been advised in the interim that planes cannot fly through our airspace or fly onto the CGIA or any aerodrome in the country.
Contrary to allegations, he says regular inspections are carried out to ensure that the equipment and air traffic operations are up to standard. Government has also expended over $700 million to replace aged equipment in the air traffic control tower. Minister Blinn believes that Guyana, like other developing countries, continue to face challenges in its aviation industry. However, he says the culture of pessimism has to be dispelled in order to overcome these hurdles.
Certainly a near-miss incident which did occur is one for concern and which has to be addressed by way of the protocols in the organization, and the appropriate remedies have to be taken.
Director of the Civil Aviation Authority, Zulfikar Mohammed, says a 2-year training program for new air traffic controllers will begin in the new year. In the meantime, he says there are adequate equipment and personnel to provide the requisite level of safety and security at the facility. The controllers who were on duty at the time have since undergone remedial training, as was recommended by the report. The handover and takeover procedures were also reviewed to ensure that there are no further occurrences of any such incident. Reporting for the 6 o'clock news, I'm Shard Lal.
A U.S.-based medical organization specializing in treatment of children with low extremity problems will be at the Georgetown Public Hospital over the next 4 days. General Surgeon Dr. John Mitchell says it is more cost-effective to do the surgeries right here in Guyana. More from Unika Jones.
9 members of Health and Education Relief for Guyana, a U.S.-based medical organization specializing in pediatric care, will be conducting clinics and performing surgeries on children with the conditions of club feet and bowed legs. General Surgeon Dr. John Mitchell says this is their 3rd visit to the Georgetown Public Hospital. He says so far surgeries were performed on 50 persons, 35 of whom were children. Dr. Mitchell says while making preparation for one of these persons to travel overseas, it was realized that it was more cost-effective to do the surgeries right here in Guyana. The team has also been working with orthopedic surgeons at the GPHC in various techniques to treat club feet before surgery becomes necessary. Health and Education Relief for Guyana has been doing missionary work here since 2000, but concentrated most of their efforts in Linden. In 2005, after the flood, the mission expanded, during which time persons with club feet were identified for surgery. Club feet is a common birth defect occurring in about 1 in every 1,000 live births. Without treatment, persons afflicted often appear to walk on their ankles or on the sides of their feet. Onika Jones, the 6 o'clock news.
Thank you, Onika. Well, the spirit of Christmas is already in the air. NCN's roving cameras caught up with this pretty picture of masqueraders outside of the Botanical Gardens, drumming and dancing to rhythmic beats. And as usual, passers-by and the vehicle traffic stopped to give their tokens of appreciation to the masqueraders.